Well, hi everyone, this is John and welcome back to another episode of Southern Exposure. Well guys, I'm kind of pumped up today. I've got something I've been wanting to cook for a long time. The family's kind of been hitting, they wanted me to do another one of these. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna get it done. Well, it just so happened I was in my butcher shop the other day and they had these on sale. So I said, well, this is a no-brainer. This is gonna happen. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about a pork loin. This is what we're doing today. This is one of the easiest pieces of meat that you can cook, whether it be on the grill or in your oven. It doesn't matter. It takes very little preparation to do these, and they come out absolutely delicious. And this is Prairie Fresh pork loin that I got in my grocery, and what made it even better is this bad boy was on sale for $1.99 a pound. That is a deal, my friends. So I jumped on this real quick. So this is what we're gonna be doing today. Now this particular one, it's not a very big one. It's almost 4 pounds, just a little bit under, but no matter, this thing ain't gonna last long once it hits that table, I promise you. Now to show you just how easy this is gonna be to do this today, we really only have 3 things we're gonna use, guys. Let me show them to you. And both of these are what I use on a lot of my other meats. Now, if you guys want to experience the exact way that me and my family eat this particular meat, you're going to want to do what I'm doing. Now, I normally don't force people or try to get people to buy exactly what I'm doing. I'm not sponsored by any of these companies, but these are products that I use that are absolutely delicious. I've tried them over and over again, and they really are good. And I wouldn't tell you they were if it wasn't. I'm not going to do that. But this is Honey Hog Barbecue by Meat Church. And the guy over at Meat Church, Matt, he does a wonderful job with this. I use this on 95% of the pork meats that I cook, including pork loin that I'm doing today, my ribs, absolutely. I even put them on pork chops. And of course, I'm going to add the garlic and herb seasoning from Zatarain's. I absolutely love this. So these 2 items together, placed on the pork loin, is an unbelievable combination. You're gonna love it, I promise you. And then there's one more thing, and y'all seen me do this before. This is the Lewis Road Creamery garlic butter. I'm going to baste the loin throughout the cook with this. I'm gonna put it in my little black pot that I have. Let me show it to you. Let's see. Here it is. Yeah, so I'm gonna melt some butter in my cute little pot I have here, my little cast iron pot. Melt this butter, and then we're gonna baste it throughout the cook about every 40 minutes or so. You just kind of have to watch it. When it looks like it's trying to dry out, I'll just baste it. Well, I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. So, but that's it, guys. It's really not anything to this, and this is something you guys are really gonna love, whether it be on the grill or in the oven. So it's a no-brainer. Y'all ready? Let's get started. Okay guys, so we have our pork loin cut out of the package, rinsed it off in the sink. I've got it laying here on the chop board on a paper towel. We're just gonna pat it dry. We want to get any extra moisture on it off of it, of course. So we're gonna do that real quick, and it's just a pat. You just want to get the extra moisture off. You don't want any extra moisture on it. I did a little bit of trimming on it already. It wasn't much. On most of your pork loins, some of them will have a bigger fat cap than the others. This one doesn't have a really big one. So we're gonna leave it alone. We're gonna leave it on there because this is enough fat that'll render off of there. And fat is also flavor. If you have too much fat, then it's kind of gross. But on a pork loin, you want a little bit of fat because that's flavor. And this one really isn't bad. There's really no big trimming that I had to do. So we're ready to get started. So what I'm gonna do at this point is I'm going to take a little bit of olive oil and use that as my binder. I use binders on some meats I don't. This particular loin, I want to put a binder on it because I want to make sure that the seasoning that we're putting on here today is going to stay on there because we're not injecting it, we're not doing anything fancy, but what we are putting on there, of course we want it to stay on there. So basically all I'm going to do is just a little bit of olive oil on each side. And you can use the spray variety, or you can buy it in the bottle, it doesn't matter. And we're just gonna take it and just lubricate it on there real good and get the ends and everything, and just to give it give it a good binder. All right. So now we're going to get our garlic and herb seasoning, and I'm going to cook this with the fat side up. This is how I like to cook almost all my meats, with the fat side on it up. So that's how we're going to do this one. So I'll start on the bottom, and I'll get the garlic and herb seasoning going on that. And I'm just going to put a nice coating on there. It looks like I might be putting a lot, but I'm really not. All right, so we got a nice little coating on there. I'm gonna pat that in a little bit. And then we're gonna come back with our honey hog barbecue rub, and we're just gonna top that off. Put a nice little coat on top. About like so. Press that in a little bit. And I'm gonna flip it over. And we're gonna do the same thing. A nice coating on there. And you can put as little or as much as you want. You can kind of do it to your liking. Once you do this enough, most of this cooking is a visual type cook. You'll see in due time how to actually do this and how much you think is enough or it's not enough. You know, that's up to you. I've done this so many times, I kind of know there's really no specific recipe. It's kind of a visual type thing. But most of your big cuts of meat like this, they can handle a fair amount of seasoning or rub on it, and they'll be just fine. They're gonna do just fine. Okay, so we got this on here. Now, like most of my pork, when I put the rub on it and season it up, I like to let it rest for about 15-20 minutes and let it draw out some of that moisture, and some of that seasoning will go right into the meat. So we're going to let this sit for a little bit, and actually we're going to transfer it onto a wire rack. Now I'm going to put this on the grill with just the rack. So if you're doing this in the oven, you want to get the wire rack that comes with the pan, and at this point you want to put the loin on top of that, and so you put it in the oven so it catch the juices. My pit is going to catch the juices and it's going to drain out, so I'm not going to worry about that. But placing it on the rack makes it a lot easier to handle. If you're rotating it or moving around, you don't have to handle the meat and worry about knocking the rub off of it. So that's why I like to cook on wire racks with most of my meat. So we're going to get this on the wire rack. As a matter of fact, I can do that right now. And just let that thing sit, and then we'll take it out to the grill. So I'm going to get the grill started, get it up at temperature. I'm going to get my smoke tubes out, and I'll show you what those smoke tubes look like. I know you guys hear me talk a lot about them. I'll go into a little bit more detail with it when we get outside, and I'll show you something about them that you may actually like. So just hang tight, I'll be right back. Okay guys, well, we're out at the grill. And remember me telling you I wanted to show you about these smoke tubes that you hear so much about me using? Well, here they are. These things are little tubes. They're made out of stainless steel. It's real hard metal. And what we do with these is we take the pellets that we pour into our pellet grill and we place in here. And these things, this is kind of what they look like, okay? And we place these into here, then we light them. You can light them with a torch, or a fireplace lighter. It'll take a little longer. I use my heat gun to light them with. I stick it down in the top and hold it there a minute, and it'll get so hot it'll catch on fire. So when these things light up on fire, I let them burn for just a few minutes, and sometimes they'll go out on their own. Sometimes I just blow them out, and then the smoking process begins. And you know, all this is wood pellets. That's what this is. Now this particular brand that I'm using is a blend. It's apple wood and pecans. Very good. It has a very good flavor, great smell. Does a really nice job on smoking meats. And of course, for those of y'all don't know, this is the hopper that if you have a pellet grill, this is a hopper where the pellets go on here. And it's pretty simple to operate. You basically just pour your pellets in. And this one's almost full. So basically just pour your pellets into the hopper, and they're self-fed. In this system, you just have to turn it on. But that's pretty much how this operates. It's real easy. If you ever think about getting a pellet grill, this one just happens to be a Pit Boss. That's just the one that I chose to use. There are many out there with different price ranges, different sizes. If anybody's interested in a Pit Boss, just leave me a comment and I'll explain to you the best I can the different ones they have. I'm not sponsored by them. It's just, like I said, one that I use that I've really enjoyed so far. So once we get these smoke tubes lit, we're going to place them on the grill on the side of the meat. And what this does is just give additional smoke to your meal. Now, those of you cooking in an oven, do not put these in your oven whatsoever. Don't do it. You know why? You'll smoke your whole house up. You'll have the fire department over there. Now, you guys that have a charcoal grill or a gas grill, you can for sure use these. What you want to do is, well, you're going to need some pellets, so you'll have to go buy a bag of those. But whether it be your charcoal grill or your or gas grill, you can do the same thing. Get these lit and put them off to the side. You don't need to put them over the heat directly, because once these things are burning, they're going to burn on their own. So you won't need to do that. But absolutely, you can use these on your gas grill or barbecue charcoal grill. It doesn't matter. So that's a little bit about these. You can find these on Amazon. This particular two that I have, it came as a pair. They were inexpensive. And just like always, I'll leave links in the description box of the video. So y'all just click on that and you'll look down and you'll see all the links to the seasonings and everything that I have, that y'all can check these out. These are really nice. It's a really nice addition to have, especially if you like to cook outdoors and don't have a smoker. This is a really great addition. Now on our pellet grill we're using today, our Pit Boss, we're going to be cooking low and slow. I'm going to set it, I'm going to start out at 225 degrees and I'm going to cook it in smoke mode, and of course I'm going to add a smoke tube to it. I'm just doing this one little small piece of loin. It's not very big, so on this cook I'm just going to use one tube. If it's racks or ribs, a lot of times I'll just use the other one. So what I normally do is just store the other one in there, you know, until I'm ready to use it. But today I'm just going to be using one with this one because cooking at a low temperature on these pellet grills, you get a lot of smoke from the pit itself, and we're just going to add extra smoke to it with one of these. So check these things out, guys. I really think you'll like them, especially you guys that like to barbecue outside on your gas or your charcoal grill. This is you're really going to like these. You'll take my word for it, you will. All right, I got to get the pit fired up, get it up at temperature, and we're going to get this pork loin put on here, and you'll see this thing smoking. So you'll see what that looks like in just a minute. So I'll be right back. Okay, guys, we got our grill up to temperature. We're doing low and slow, starting out at 225 degrees. I may adjust it up a little bit when it gets closer, but this is where we're going to start. We're going to get a lot of smoke from the pit, and there's our smoke tube in action, burning. See that going? So look at all the smoke that thing's putting out. So this is going to give us added smoke to, in addition to what the pit gives us. So it's going to be really good. I also have, this pit has an internal thermometer that you can plug in. And I'll just show you this. It goes right down here and plugs in. And we're just going to stick it in the top, middle of it, like so. And that'll give us an idea of where we're at. I'll use my InstaRead thermometer to check it as it gets closer, but this will just kind of give me something I can look at and gauge it by, you know, so I don't have to open up the pit as much. So that's why I like to use those things. So I'm gonna get this thing closed down and probably come back and check it in about 40 minutes. And if it's starting to cook up real nice, I'm going to baste it with some of that garlic butter. So I'll show you what that looks like in a few minutes. And oh, while I'm here, a little bonus footage. There's our new addition to the family. These are our chickens. We have Junebug, Jitterbug, Mudbug, And Diamond. Diamond's the one that's scratching right there. She's kind of the boss hen at times, kicking things around, showing she's boss, of course, because that's what boss hens do. And there's her little chicken coop with their perch in it. Let me get around here and show you. And we got them some little snack bowls, and I put a little tray out there in the morning to give them some feed on. And there's their water bottle back over there. So these are the new additions to the family. So I thought I'd show these to you. And of course, Bear's here checking them out. Hey Bear, good to see you again. So yeah, he's trying to make friends with the chickens, but it's not going too well. But maybe to get better. So, but there you go. All right, guys, we're gonna check back on this pork loin in just about 30-40 minutes. So see you then. Okay, guys, we're about 40 minutes in. As you can see, the pork loin is starting to brown up a little bit. It's really starting to do good. So I placed the garlic butter into the little cast iron pot. I'm gonna let that melt down, and when that's melted, it'll probably be just right for me to start basting the top of the loin with. And I'm not gonna rub it on there. I'm just gonna kind of drizzle it on there. I'll show you guys when this melts down, and show you how we do that. But I'm gonna try and baste it every from now on, probably about every 20 to 30 minutes as needed, and see how it goes. So we'll go from there. So I'll get back with you in just a few minutes. And oh, by the way, there's Bear. Hey Bear, you want some pork loin? My buddy? Yeah, he's ignoring me. Of course he wants something to eat, he's saying. You think I'm stupid? Okay guys, be right back. Okay guys, we've got our garlic butter melted down. We're going to drizzle it onto the top of the loin. I'll show you how we do that. Like I said, we're not going to rub it. We're just going to let it drizzle. So I'm simply just going to hold it over the top, shake it on there, just enough to wet it up. Nice little coating on it. Just about like so. And that's it. And I'll put it off to the side. And I'll come back in a few more minutes and baste it one more time. The loin is probably 3/4 of the way ready now. So I'll probably baste it one more time before I pull it off. And then we'll be done with it. So I'll just see you back in the kitchen when it's completely done. And we'll cut into it, see what it looks like, and have a bite. What do you say? So, see you in a minute. Okay, guys, here it is. We got it off the grill. Smells absolutely incredible. The cook time was about 2 hours and 15 minutes, and I cooked this at 225 degrees. You could probably do the same thing in your oven. For those of you that's doing it in the oven, you could do it at that. And I will say what you guys will probably benefit from is owning a thermometer, because you want to have your pork is done at 145 internal degrees, but you don't want to overcook it, because then it really starts drying out. So you want to get a handle on it. You know, as you know, I use these quick read thermometers. I really like them. This will benefit you if you guys get one of these. I'll put a link in the description as well as the other stuff, of course. But and what I did with this particular piece of meat is when it reached 140 degrees, I pulled it off and let it rest here on the table for about 15 minutes. And I just probed it again, and it came up to 146, 147 degrees. So it will continue to cook. But if you were to leave it on there and then pull it out and then let it rest, it's going to continue to cook and it's going to dry out. And by all means, let your meat rest when you pull it off the grill or out of the oven, especially a piece of meat like this. You need to let it rest 15 minutes, 20 minutes. It's not going to get cold. It's still going to be piping hot, as I will show you. This has been resting now for 20 minutes. So it's cooled down a little bit, but it's still going to be hot on the inside. So, but this is what it looks like. And I'm going to get it over here on the table. I'm going to cut it, and then I will see what it looks like. You're gonna get this thing cut right down the middle. Cut like butter. And have a look at that, guys. Take a look at this thing. I gotta pick one of them up and show you. I hope I don't make too much of a mess. But take a look at that. You got the smoke ring around it from all the smoke. It's nice and look at the juice. It's dripping juice on my floor. I'm gonna get in trouble. But this thing is absolutely incredible. I'm gonna cut a little slice of it off. Man, this thing smells so good. And I like to cut them thin. Some people cut them however they want. But take a look at this thing, man. Holy smoke. Take a look at that, guys. Man, does this look good. It's got just the right amount of fat on it. Like I said, that's why I leave the fat cap on them. Unless it's a real thick fat cap, I may trim it down. But otherwise, on these pork loins, you want to have a little bit of fat on there. That's part of your flavor. And, oh man, let me get a bite. Oh man. Oh man, this is so good. It's literally melting in my mouth. That's how good it is. Absolutely incredible. Tender. Look at this. Watch. I'll pull it apart for you. Look. Look at this. Pull right apart. Absolutely incredible. Done just right. I actually did something right this time. How about that? But guys, this is a really, like I said, a really good meal for you to prepare for your family. It's really easy to cook. And you guys, like I said, they don't have grills. You can absolutely 100% cook this in the oven. Just repeat the methods I do, except do not put the smoke tubes in there. You know, you don't want to smoke your house up. No, don't do that. But as for the cooking time, the cooking temperature, the seasoning that I showed you, I'm going to put a link of all that in there, even down to the quick read thermometer that's going to help you pull this out of the oven or out the grill at the perfect amount of time so you do not overcook it. And that's the last thing you want to do to a pork loin because it will dry out very quick. So, like I said, this turned out real good. My family is probably in there salivating, waiting on this right now. So I'm going to get it in there to them and we're going to enjoy our meal. And I hope you guys want to try this. And if you do, let me know. Leave me a comment. Let me know how it came out for you. I'd love to hear from you. And like I said, I'll leave a description, link in the description with all the stuff I did for it so you can check it out. You're going to find that this is really easy to do and you're really going to enjoy it. So give it a try, guys. That's all I got to say. So, well, this is John with Southern Exposure, and we'll see you next time.